Nyingakuwa mamalaika.
I'm speaking to Zulfikar Hirji about his new book, Pluralism and Diversity in Islam. This is a major undertaking. It's an anthology, but one that you were involved in as a kind of editor, and if I can say even curator. Tell me a little bit about pluralism and diversity and how you regard it.
Muslims are and have been diverse and have diverse perspectives, and yet the questions that they're being asked suggest that there is one Islam and that Muslims should believe in one thing, and why are these divergent voices not uniform or homogeneous? It really gave me the opportunity to reassert into the public domain the fact that Muslims are diverse, have been diverse, that Islam is not a static tradition. Really, what we need to do is re-examine that diversity and bring it back into the public conversation.
Most of you know Zulfikar to some extent and would know him as an associate professor at York University in the Department of Social and Cultural Anthropology. And this is obviously a launch for a book on diversity and pluralism in Islam, historical and contemporary discourses among Muslims. There are many other sides to Zulfikar. He's currently the co-editor of the Routledge Indian Ocean series. He's a co-author and co-editor of the Ismailis, an illustrated history. When he had supposedly a little academic time off, Zulfikar proceeded to make his first film called Push Panjali on the life world of Tarima Mitha, a Pakistani-born, US-based dancer-choreographer. A man of great thought, but obviously an artist in his own right. Please welcome to the stage Zulfikar Hirji.
When I started thinking about these issues was really the events of 9/11. People were talking about Muslims believe this, Islam really preaches this. Part of the motivation for writing this book is to say, okay, let's displace all those categories. Let's not even start with this notion of Islam is and Muslims think that. Let's problematize it from the very outset. For years and years and years, we had been living with an imagined Islam. Muslims don't agree on anything. Shift now completely to an article by Patrice Brodeur, working in North America. He argues that one of the ways in which Muslims are counted in the United States, by the number of people that attend mosque on a Friday. The way that's done is by counting the shoes in the foyer. That gives you an indication of how statistics are compiled. But complicit in all of this are the statistics managers. And who are they? The people in the mosque who want to see practicing Muslims as the only people counted. We know that women don't go to a mosque on a Friday. There are many Muslims who practice in spaces which are not mosques. And there are vast numbers of people who proclaim to be Muslims who don't go to mosques. How do their voices get heard?
We have a remarkable person to ask the questions, an extraordinary writer in her own right, Shanice John Mohammed. She also has a book called Bleeding Light, which is published by TSAR. Please, Shanice John Mohammed.
What do you see when you look at me? She's probably from India or the Middle East, released from the hands of some political beast. Well, 0 points for you, because you base my ancestry on my race. Couldn't look further than my face and see that I could quite possibly be from Kenya. Well, my great-grandfather came from India to Africa by the ocean, traveled to put forth his plans for the future into motion. And from his son I learned the ideals of charity, to speak up for those living in the midst of calamities, to battle the odds and fight the storm, to know when to rebel, when not to conform, to be a visionary for my faith by transcending youth, to keep his memory alive by practicing truth. Where do you think art or collaboration can push through in pluralism and dialogue?
I think the issue becomes much more germane when we think about education. I looked at my son who came home from school and said, "We're studying the medieval period." And I said, "That's great. Where?" And he looked at me absolutely blind-faced. I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "In England, of course." Okay, what about the medieval period in the Middle East or in Africa and community in Kenya or in China somewhere? And he just could not understand. And so we said to him, medieval simply means a period of time and not a geographical location with a particular localized history. And he went back to school, and I think the teacher didn't know what hit her. He provided an inconvenient truth. We, as educators in the classroom in anthropology and other disciplines, face this constantly. We're always teaching against a narrative. The fact that you actually do culture, art, music, whatever, and not to be treated as entertainment is also a problem.
My heart lies in Africa. My spirit thrives in Canada. My soul dreams of India, the holy trinity of my identity. So take a second look, read a cover by its book, and before you cut me down to size, realize your own histories before you claim me to be of one nationality.